Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Advancement. Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got another crazy show for y'all. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So it looks like we're back here again. We're back with another Russell Westbrook slander video, right? What prompted this video? Well, we all know what happened. The Denver Nuggets were playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Russell Westbrook was essentially the donkey of the game, where he had probably one of the worst sequences most of us have seen in a long time, where it was a 2-on-1 fast break. He had an opportunity to lay the ball up. He missed the layup. Then, with the Denver Nuggets in the lead, I think by 1 or 2 points or so, he then comes down, the buzzer expires, and he fouls the three-point shooter. The guy goes to the free throw line. He hits, I think, 2 or 3 out of the 3 free throws, whatever it was. He hits enough free throws, and then they end up winning the game, right? It's also worth noting that Jamal Murray didn't play in that game. So they lost the game, and everybody was going off on Russell Westbrook yesterday. Or was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Now, we didn't produce a show about it because I had other things I wanted to talk about, and I knew other people were going to talk about it, and I don't think the audience would have been that interested in it if I did. I don't know. I could be wrong, right? But I don't think our audience would have been that interested in it. So you had that. And everyone spoke about it. They spoke about it on ESPN First Take, some other places as well. And then I came across a segment from Speak for Yourself featuring Kevin Wiles, Chris Broussard, and Nick Wright. And they were discussing this blunder that Russell Westbrook had at the end of that game. And when it came time for Nick Wright to weigh in, well, let me just say this. Not only did Nick Wright go in on Russell Westbrook, he seized on the opportunity to use it as a moment to take a shot at Westbrook while elevating LeBron James at the same time. And I'm saying to myself, how did this guy manage to bring LeBron into this situation here? So for those of you who didn't hear what Nick Wright had to say, his brutal takedown of Russell Westbrook, we want to play it for you now. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Nick had to say here.
On the Russ stuff, we tried to warn you, Denver. And in the very beginning, a whole lot of chirping. Why couldn't LeBron make it work the way Joker can? Oh, not from you, Brew. I'm just saying a whole lot of, man, one of the things that makes Joker so special is his ability to, Russ he got him for the minimum, was a forgotten guy. But look, the answer is no, you can't fix him. Russ is an all-time legendary player.
He's playing well with Denver for what he's doing. He's not a star at this point. Yeah. He lost them a game.
No.
It's one game. I'm not going to say – Jokic – it's not even just Jokic. Russ has fit in well there.
Yeah, he won't when it matters. He won't.
He's not a star. If they're counting on Russell Westbrook to get them a championship, yeah, they're in trouble.
What I'm telling you, he will be a net negative on winning playoff games.
I'm not ready to say that.
If I may, I am ready to say that. He has not been able to contribute to winning basketball in nearly a decade. In nearly a decade. There have been 5 teams that have opted in to the Russell Westbrook experience. One of them, it was smart, because it was the one team that was like, hey, we just want to maybe find a way to make it into the playoffs. Washington. And that was when Houston had real championship aspirations with an MVP-level player. It did not work. The Lakers had real championship aspirations with an MVP-level player. It did not work. The Clippers, a lot of similarities to this, regular season, he's accepting his role. Maybe it'll work. And the Clippers era ended with a playoff series where, this is accurate, he played 19 minutes per game, scoring 6 points per game on 26-23 splits in the postseason, which is only slightly worse than his postseason numbers this decade, which are 16 points a game on 37-27 splits. The Clippers had real championship aspirations with an MVP-level player, and now the Nuggets. They have all taken their turn on the late-stage Russell Westbrook carousel, and it always will end like this because he does not have the ability to not be Russell Westbrook at all times. And that's kind of the point you were making. It's also
why the whole way.
Right, 7 years ago when this show first started, I used to say if you have any young person who plays sports, the person whose tape you should make them watch is Russell Westbrook, because you can't tell. Is it the first quarter, the fourth quarter? Is it the playoffs? Is it not? Because he is going so hard, all effort, all times. But at this point, his greatest assets become his greatest liability. And so I am not surprised by this. And I do think that, do I feel awful for us? I don't know. I didn't love him whining at the ref. I didn't love him walking back up on the fan who said something to him, which he has made a big part of the last half decade of his career, which is, I'm unfairly maligned by either media or fans. Like, it comes with the territory, and I'm not surprised at all by anything we saw last night.
So you heard what Nick Wright had to say. So, let me tell you why these guys hate Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook started to become hated the moment he decided to join the Los Angeles Lakers. That was the end for him. That was the end for Russell Westbrook's career and credibility. I want you guys to think about something. Prior to Westbrook joining the Lakers, the year before he was with the Washington Wizards, he averaged a triple-double, and they made it into the play-in. That summer when they acquired Russell Westbrook, everybody and their grandmother was twerking it up all over the table, pouring honey all over each other, hollering and screaming, talking about the Lakers going to the final. As a matter of fact, I remember them saying that the Lakers had the second best odds to win it all, and the number one odds to come out of the Western Conference, excuse me. Oh, people were twerking. We were all twerking. They're twerking. And then they lost a few games. Then they were like a 500 team. After their first 20 games. And then slowly panic started to set in. And as the ship began to sink, the usual thing that always happens when things go wrong on a LeBron team is a scapegoat emerges. And the scapegoat for that season was Russell Westbrook. Now, let me say this. Did Russell Westbrook have a lot of blunders and lowlights that year? You better believe it. Was Russell Westbrook very combative and defensive with the media? You better believe it. But for them to put that entire mess on Russell Westbrook, I thought was unfair. And I thought that Russell Westbrook quickly discovered that LeBron wasn't as friend as he thought he was. And he was turned into the scapegoat. Russell Westbrook then leaves the Lakers. He goes to the Clippers. And then what happened? What happened was the people that despise Russell Westbrook, the Shannon Sharps and all of these guys, one would have thought that, okay, they would have forgot about him because he's no longer the Lakers. No. It then turned into this thing of, we're going to point out every time Russell Westbrook does wrong and say, you see, he wasn't no good. Now, the question is, why were they doing that? The reason that these guys were so adamant about their criticism towards Westbrook is this. The saying has always been, LeBron makes everybody better. He makes everybody better. So when you have a guy that he couldn't make better or he couldn't work with, their goal was to say, you see, not only could LeBron not work with him, nobody can work with him. So it doesn't look like LeBron couldn't make him better, so they can still hold on to that narrative. And therefore, Russell Westbrook became a target. So even though he was no longer on the Lakers, he was still being targeted by these guys and by media members that support LeBron. That's what was happening. So even on the Lakers, you had LeBron fans still worrying about Russell Westbrook. I'm like, why do you care? He's no longer on your team. And now what has happened is, now that he's joined the Denver Nuggets, these guys are still lurking in the water like some sharks. So when Russell Westbrook had that blunder that he had, who emerges? Nick Wright. And not only does Nick Wright emerge to discuss the mistakes of Russell Westbrook at the end of the game, he then brings LeBron James and then says, Russell Westbrook has not been able to contribute to winning. And then he even mentions LeBron. The question is, where did LeBron come in all of this? It came in because this is what's always on their mind. So he saw it as an opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. One, to kick Westbrook, and two, to elevate LeBron. And see, you see, he can't win. Nobody can win with him. So all those people saying to LeBron, this is what they're doing. This is what it's all about. This is what all this is. This is what all this is. The thing is, though, they act like as if they're fooling people, and they're not. You guys are quite transparent. And the irony in all of this is this will be the same fan base to turn around and cry about people hating on their king. Make it make sense.